Hello students, welcome back to EDOP. This is Ranjan from Team EDOP. Dear students, this is second part of 8th lecture, and in the first part I told you the concept of your Thevenin's theorem, Norton's theorem and your maximum power transfer theorem. Now in this lecture we will be solving MCQs related to that concept, and also we will see what kinds of questions can be framed in your upcoming SSCG exam. Okay, and this will be your last lecture related to your basic electrical engineering, and after that we will launch a miscellaneous test series question related to your basic electrical engineering. So one sincere request to all, please attempt that test series so that we can judge your preparation level. Okay, now let's start today's lecture. This is first question of today's lecture. This is a very basic question and it was asked in your last year SSC JEE exam paper. In this question it is asking what is the Thevenin's resistance as seen through the terminal A and B. Okay, so as I said in the last class, while finding the Thevenin's resistance or the equivalent resistance, we need to remove all the independent voltage as well as current sources. So let's here remove all the independent sources. Here there are two independent sources, that is 20 volt voltage source and 25 volt voltage source. So now we have to remove these two voltage source. As you know that the voltage source can be removed just by short circuiting them. Okay, so just short circuit the voltage source and let's short circuit this voltage source. Okay, now find the R equivalent between the point A and B. Okay, here if you take a close look, here 2 ohm resistance and 4 ohm resistance are connected in series. Okay, why? Now because they are present in the same branch, so they are connected in a series. So 2 plus 4 equal to your 6 ohm. Now this 6 ohm will be like this. So this is 6 ohm. Now this 6 ohm and that 6 ohm both are connected in parallel. So their equivalent will be how much? This is 6 by 2. So this is 3. Okay. Now their equivalent will be look like this. So this is 3 ohm and this is your branch. Okay. Now this 3 ohm and that 3 ohm both are connected in series. So their equivalent will be 6 ohm. Okay. So this 6 ohm will be like this. This is your 6 ohm. Now these two resistance are connected in parallel. So their equivalent will be 6 by 2 equal to 3 ohm. Now this 3 ohm will be like this. Now this 2 ohm resistance and the equivalent, that is 3 ohm resistance, both are connected in series. Okay, so their equivalent will be your 2 plus 3 equal to 5 ohm. So the equivalent resistance between the point A and B will be equal to your 5 ohm. So your option D is your right answer. Now let's move on to the next question. In this question we have been given with a linear network, okay, where there is a voltage source present in the input side and there is a load present in the output side. Okay, and we are given with few conditions like this: when R equal to infinity, V equal to 20 volt, when R equal to 0, I equal to 4 ampere, and when R equal to 5 ohm, I equal to how much? We have to tell. Okay, so see here, when R equal to infinite means this one is your R. Okay, when R is infinite means this is open circuit. So open circuit voltage is given as 20 volt. So VOC is given to your 20 volt, and when R equal to 0 means short circuit. R is 0 means there is no presence of R, so this path will be shorted. So when R equal to 0, I equal to 4 ampere. So here I is given as your short circuit current. ISC equal to your 4 ampere. Okay. Now as I said earlier in the last lecture, RTH, that is Thevenin's resistance, equal to your open circuit voltage divided by short circuit current. Okay. So 20 by 4 equal to 5 ohm. So Thevenin's resistance we got to 5 ohm. Okay. Now in order to redraw this circuit into the Thevenin's equivalent form, we have to determine what is VThevenin's or what is open circuit voltage. So here open circuit voltage is given to be your 20 volt and we got RTH to be your 5 ohm. So now let's redraw the circuit. Here open circuit voltage is your 20 volt and here Thevenin's resistance is your 5 ohm and here load resistance is your R. And when R equal to 5 ohm, we have to tell what is the current flowing through this network I. So this I can be found out easily by using your Ohm's law, that is the current equal to net voltage divided by net resistance. Net resistance is your 5 plus 5 as these are connected in series. So 20 by 10 equal to 2 ampere. So the current flowing through this load resistance of 5 ohm equal to your 2 ampere. So your option B is your right answer. Now let's move on to the next question. This is a typical question from your Thevenin's theorem, and this type of question was not asked by your SSC as this is a very lengthy question. I have taken this question in order to show the concept of the Thevenin's theorem, means how to apply the Thevenin's theorem when the circuit is consisting of both your dependent as well as independent sources. So in this question we have been given with a network where there are two sources. One is dependent sources, that is voltage dependent voltage source, and other one is independent current source. Now we have to tell what is the Thevenin's resistance or the equivalent resistance between the point A and B, and what is the Thevenin's voltage, that is open circuit voltage between the point A and B. Okay, as I said in the last lecture, when the circuit is consisting of your both dependent as well as independent sources, the R Thevenin's or R equivalent can be expressed or can be found out RTH equal to open circuit voltage divided by short circuit current. Okay, so here we have to find what is the open circuit voltage. Now let's apply nodal voltage analysis to this node to find out what is the open circuit voltage. Okay, VOC across this point. Okay, now let's make this to be your reference node. As this is a reference node and the voltage across this 6 ohm resistance is your Vx, so this voltage will be reflect to this node. So this node voltage will be equal to your Vx. Okay, and here the voltage across this point AB is your open circuit voltage. As this path is open, there is no current flows through this 3 ohm resistance, so the voltage across this 3 ohm resistance is 0. So same VOC amount of voltage will reflect to this node. So this node means this node, so this node voltage equal to your VOC. So Vx equal to your VOC. Now let's the current flowing in this branch is like this and in this branch is like this. Now let's apply KCL to this node Vx. So we can write this is 2Vx minus Vx divided by 3. So net voltage divided by net resistance. So this is equal to, so net current entering equal to net current leaving. So net current leaving is how much? This is Vx divided by 6, this current, plus your 1 ampere. So solving this, V2Vx minus Vx, this is Vx, and this is 6 Vx plus 6. So this is 2Vx equal to Vx plus 6 implies that Vx equal to your 6 volt. That is open circuit voltage equal to your 6 volt. Now we got the open circuit voltage VOC equal to your 6 volt. Now we have to find what is the short circuit current flows through the branch A and B. Now let's redraw the circuit. Let me wipe this one first. Now let's redraw the circuit. This is a dependent voltage source 2Vx of magnitude 3 ohm, 6 ohm, Vx, this is 1 ohm, and this is short circuited path. This is A and this is B. We have to calculate what is ISC. This is 3 ohm. Okay, so here let make this to be your reference node. Now let's apply again the nodal voltage analysis to this node. So here the voltage will be Vx. Okay, now let's apply nodal voltage analysis. Current is flowing like this here in this branch, and in this branch is like this, and in this branch is like this. Now let's write the KCL equation. Here this is 2Vx minus Vx divided by 3, the current in this branch, okay, equal to the net current leaving, that is Vx by 6 plus 1 ampere current plus Vx minus this is 0 as this is round, so this is by 3. So by solving this is Vx by 3 and this is 6 LCM, Vx plus 6 plus this is 2Vx. Now by cancelling this is 2, so 2Vx equal to your 3Vx plus 6 implies that the Vx equal to your minus 6 volt. So Vx equal to your minus 6 volt. Now the short circuit current ISC equal to Vx minus 0 divided by your 3. So this is how much? This is minus 6 by 3 equal to minus 2 ampere. So your short circuit current will be equal to your minus 2 ampere and the open circuit voltage equal to your 6 volt. So the Thevenin's resistance will be V open circuit by ISC, I short circuit. So this is 6 divided by minus 2. So this is minus 3 ohm. So here the open circuit voltage between the point AB we got 6 volt and RTS, that is Thevenin's resistance, we got minus 3 ohm. So here option D is your right answer. Now let's move on to the next question. In this question we have been given with a network where there is a current dependent voltage source and two resistances 2 ohm and 4 ohm. Okay, now here we need to find what is the equivalent resistance between these 2 points. Okay, so here as I said in the last class, when the network is consisting of only dependent sources, then we have to put an external voltage source to excite this network. Why? Na, because as we all know, the dependent source can't supply any current independently. So we have to make some external arrangement to excite this network to operate. Okay. So here we provide a test voltage source. This is a test voltage source of magnitude V, which is supplying a current of amount I. Okay. Now here, as I said in the last lecture, that when the network is consisting of only dependent source, then the R Thevenins or the R equivalent is given as here the test voltage magnitude divided by the current supplied by it. Okay. Now we have to calculate what is the V and what is the I. Then by dividing the voltage with I, we can calculate this R Thevenins or R equivalent resistance between the 2 points. Okay. Now let's apply here the nodal voltage analysis to this node. And let make this to be your reference node. As this is a reference node, the voltage across this resistance is here V. So same voltage will be reflected at this node. So the node voltage will be your V. Now let's apply the nodal voltage analysis to this node V. So the current flowing in this branch is like this, and in this branch is like this, and in this branch is like this. Okay. So let's write down. Here the current entering equal to your I equal to the sum of total leaving current. So this is V minus 0 divided by 4 plus your V minus 2I divided by your 2, that is net voltage divided by net resistance. Implies that I equal to, here LCM is 4, so V plus 2V minus 4I. By solving this is 4I equal to 3V minus 4I. So here this is how much? This is 8I equal to 3V. Implies that your V by I ratio will be 8 by 3 ohm. Okay. So here the equivalent resistance between these 2 points equal to your 8 by 3. So your option B is your right answer. Now let's move on to the next question. Here in this question there is a network given and we have to tell what is the Norton's current in the circuit. Okay. So Norton's current flowing between the point A and B. As you all know that the Norton's current means the short circuit current. So we have to find how much current is flowing through this shorted path. So this is your Norton's current. Now we have to find what is the value of IN. As this path is shorted, this resistance and this resistance loses its significance. Okay, this is very obvious. So the network can be redrawn into, this is a voltage source, this is a resistance of 30 ohm, and this is 360 volt, and this is your shorted path. Let mark this is as A and this is as B. So this is your Norton's current or short circuit current. Now the Norton current or the short circuit current can be found out just by applying the Ohm's law, that is total voltage divided by total resistance. So by cancelling this we got this is 12 ampere. So the Norton current in the given circuit will be equal to your 12 ampere. So your option A is your right answer. Now let's move on to the next question. Here in this question there is a voltage source and there is a load resistance and a source resistance. Source resistance is your variable, and we have to operate this load resistance in such a way that between 20 ohm and 80 ohm, so that the maximum power will be transferred to this load resistance. Okay, so in the last lecture we discussed the power will be maximum, that is the maximum power will be transferred to load when the load resistance equal to your source resistance. Okay, so here load resistance is 60 and the source resistance is a variable resistance, so the source resistance must be your Rg equal to your 60 ohm in order to transfer the maximum power to load. And we derived the maximum power that can be transferred to load as PL max equal to VTH square divided by 4 into RL. Okay, so here the VTH is your 40 volt, that is the total voltage or the Thevenin's voltage. So in this circuit the VTH equal to your 40 volt. So 40 square divided by 4 into RL is 60. So 40 into 40 divided by 4 into 60. So cancelling this. So this is 40 by 6 equal to 15 watt. So the maximum power that can be transferred to the load RL equal to your 15 watt. So your option A is your right answer. Now let's move on to the next question. In this question it is asking the normal efficiency obtained in a circuit under the condition of maximum power transfer is how much. So in the last class we derived what is the normal efficiency of a circuit which is under obeying your maximum power transfer theorem. So that is your 50%. So in the last class we derived how the maximum efficiency of a network under maximum power transfer theorem. So if you have not watched that, then please watch that. We can understand how easily we can find what is the efficiency of the network. Okay, now let's move on to the next question. Here in this question we have been given with a network where there are 4 branches, parallel branches. Okay, these 3 are sources and this is your load. Okay, so here we have to use the Milliman's theorem and we need to find what is the value of current that flows through the resistance RL, okay, of 3 ohm resistance. Here by using your Milliman's theorem, this network can be rewritten into a smaller one, that is your V equivalent with a series equivalent resistance and your load resistance. Okay, and here V equivalent equal to your summation of Vi into Yi divided by your summation of Yi, and R equivalent equal to your 1 by summation of Yi. Okay, you need to remember these two formula. While dealing with your Milliman's theorem, you can directly apply these two formula and you can easily solve whatever the question. Okay, so here the Y is the reciprocal of this R value, that is your in mho. So this is your admittance. Okay, so here V equivalent equal to your summation of Vi. Here in the first branch the voltage is your 8 and Y1 is your 1 by 3. Similarly here 16 into 1 by 3 plus 24 into 1 by 3, and in denominator this is 1 by 3 plus 1 by 3 plus 1 by 3. Okay, so by solving this we get this is 8 by 3 plus 16 by 3 plus 24 by 3, and in denominator we get this is 1. Okay, so implies that V equivalent equal to your 16 volt. Okay, and here R equivalent equal to your 1 by 3 for first branch y1 is 1 by 3, for second branch is also 1 by 3, and for third branch is 1 by 3. So this is 1 ohm. So putting this value in this circuit, this is 16 volt and this is 1 ohm, and RL is given to be your 3 ohm. So now we can find the value of current that flows through in this network like this. Okay, so the value of current I flows through this load resistance RL equal to net voltage divided by net resistance. Here net voltage is V equivalent equal to your 16 volt, and net resistance is R equivalent plus RL as they are connected in series. So this is 1 plus 3 equal to 16 by 4. So this is 4 ampere. So the current flows through this load resistance of RL equal to 3 ohm is your 4 ampere. So option B is your right answer. By this, let's wind up today's lecture. Thanks for watching everybody. See you in my next video. Till then, keep watching and keep learning. And one more thing, please subscribe to our channel and like the video. And if you have any doubt, then put your doubt in the comment section. Thank you.